Margaux here with All Seasons Adventures. We're in the Uinta mountain range right now. We're about to hop onto Shingle Creek Trailhead, and we're just going to show you a couple of things you may see out here on a hike with us today. We're going to try and look at some plants and birds if we see them. So come along. Recreating, make sure you're following leave no trace principles, as well as trying to keep your social distance. So if you decide to bring masks and gloves out on your hike with you, just make sure you're taking those home with you as well and not leaving them at our trailheads or on the side of the trail. And so if someone comes along while you're hiking, try to step off the trail in the least impactful way possible. So if there's a rock you can step off on, maybe step out of the way on that, or on some more solid ground on logs instead of trampling any wildlife or plant life you may see along the trail. Also a good idea to try and avoid peak times of the day if you can, especially evening time when people are getting off work. There's going to be a lot more people out, so try and pick a time of the day to do your outdoor recreation when there'll be less people out on the trail. Common species in Utah. It's called an aspen tree. A lot of people confuse them with birch trees just because of the white bark. They can look really similar sometimes. So a good way to tell aspens apart from birches is they have this white powder on the outside. It's actually a fungus that grows on the aspen trees. And a cool thing about this is if you're in a big pinch, it's got an SPF of 5, so it's technically a good sunscreen. You just have to reapply quite a bit. So the cool part about aspens is they are connected underground. Oftentimes you can look at a bunch of different aspen trees and they will be all a part of a single organism. So underground they're connected by their root systems, and shoots will come up like these little baby aspen trees and all be connected. Two of our staple species in Utah. We have a sagebrush right here. It has a really strong smell. It smells kind of like the sage you would use for cooking, but this is a wild sagebrush. And then right next to it, we have this little plant called Oregon grape. The cool part about this plant is you will see its leaves all year round, as long as there's no snow covering them. It keeps its leaves through the winter. And as you can see, this one's starting to get its little buds. So these little green guys, in probably a couple weeks, will become big bunches of bright yellow flowers, which we're starting to see at lower elevations right now. But up here in the Uintas, it hasn't quite had the temperatures to bloom yet. Common Utah springtime plant, especially at our higher elevations. It's called a Glacier Lily. It looks somewhat like a tiny version of the lilies you may have in your gardens, but as you can see, it generally grows in pretty big clumps, and it enjoys a little bit of a wetter soil. Alright folks, thanks for joining us today. We look forward to hiking with you and doing all our other adventures with you guys in the future. There'll be a lot more to see as the seasons change. Thanks for joining us today.